Well, hi again. In this video, I will talk on the subject of this course, which is the economy, uh, and I will briefly describe what economy is and well, the basic understanding of economy, which is even though it can be approached from different directions, I think the actual definition is not that difficult. Uh, and um, well, and then we will go to in a little bit more detail how economy is studied and what is the difference between economy and economics, by the way, and also different approaches to economy and different fields of the economy also. The textbook definition of economy might be a little bit complex or difficult. It sounds difficult, basically. Economy is the social system within each society that transform resources belonging to that society to the wants and needs of the society. But it's actually my definition. The actual definition is usually something like economy is the social study of how uncoordinated choices of individuals are resulting in the most efficient allocation of the resources to meet wants and needs of the society. So again, uncoordinated choices of individuals, agents. That's the one thing. And then those choices lead to allocation, direction of the resources to the in most efficient way to the wants and needs of the society. Well, both definitions are actually saying something similar, although there is some addition in the second one. To be more clear, thinking of any human society, actually, even in the case of a non-human society, as long as you have living beings, in order to sustain life, there are certain needs, and the moment you have some animals with consciousness, brain, thinking, you add to those biological needs also some psychological needs. I believe biologically a cat doesn't need to survive, but for example, in around my house, there was a cat which always needs to be touched, basically, and well, he or she, I don't know, doesn't need food. He just needs that kind of contact with another living being, basically. So, in that sense, each individual might have certain needs, and those needs are necessary for them to survive first biologically, then psychologically stay sane, and socially. I mean, socially, in order to stay sane and biologically alive, you might not need necessarily a phone. For centuries, people didn't have a phone. But if in current society, without a phone, you cannot find a job, then even for there is a phone becoming a social need for you to survive. Even to meet the other needs, you need now a phone. Even to be able to find a job to meet your biological needs, now you need a phone. And beyond these needs, people also have wants. I mean, things they don't necessarily need, but they want. They want to go to, for example, amusement center or a holiday. I don't know, or they are okay with 5 different T-shirts, but they want to buy a 6, 7, 8 T-shirt. That might, so those things could be the wants of the individual. And the society also has resources. Resources are things like wood, wool, or animals, or coal, or you might think national resources are the major resources, and you might think labor as the one resource that every human has in himself or herself. And in some cases, you might also think about certain machines or products that were produced previously, like resources. I mean, like as I said, machines or trucks for farms, for semi finished products like linen, for example. I mean, from which you can make clothes, might also be thought as resources. So those resources don't meet mostly the needs and wants of the people, unless it is some very rare instances. Maybe, I mean, you might have direct water. You can still need some labor, but take the water and drink that water. In that case, a resource that provided by the nature directly, almost direct, almost with zero labor, meet the need. But mostly, for example, the wool on the animal doesn't meet your need. Even after you cut, it doesn't meet your need. So you need substantial amount of labor to do that. So basically, these resources are transformed and then directed to the people to meet the needs and wants of the people. So the economic system is kind of the system that directs these resources to the producers who transform these resources to the wants and needs of the people, and then distributes these outputs to the people to meet wants and needs of the society. In a way, economic system is the system which transforms the resources to the wants and needs of the society in a most basic sense. Of course, labor is part of the resource, which means each person is acting as owner of the resource in at least his or her labor power, and then also the consumer of them wants and needs. So from the perspective of the producers, in a way, each person acts as first as owner of the resource and then consumer of the products of the producers. Of course, who does this production decision? How are these production decisions given? That's a major question. How is the distribution of these outputs organized? How are the distribution of resources, individual resources, are organized? These are the main questions for any economic system. Currently, we have an economic system that's called market economy. In mainstream economics, at least, the market economy is the main term, although in Marxian economics, the name is usually the name that's preferred is capitalism, which is a more popular name, ironically. But in mainstream economics, market economy is preferred. Market economy is actually kind of mentioning an aspect of the current economic system. Well, in the current economic system, first, resources are owned by individuals, people. I mean, labor is almost always owned by the people, but still, the way it is organized was sometimes also done socially. So each individual the individuals don't necessarily were deciding how they use their labor, rather the social structure and their social position was making those decisions for them. And other resources like, for example, pastures, animals, the natural resource, the mines, they were more social. They were not necessarily belonging to the individuals, and then the way these resources are distributed was decided by within the market, where the producers and the owners of the resources come together. So each owner of the resources, including the owner of the labor power, the workers are selling their labor power to the producers, and then the producers are selling what they produce again in the market to the people who have the 1 cent needs. So what happens in this market, this interaction between the people, related to the preferences of each individual who is making their decisions in an uncoordinated way, decides how the economy is acting. In a way, everyone has their own needs or preferences. The producers want to make profit. The people want to get highest possible life standards. They come to the market, and their interaction inside of the market is kind of determining how the economic system is running. So what is happening inside of this market is, according to this view, regulating the economic system. That's why the current economic system is called market economy, according to this view. We might also get some alternative view, and here actually there is much to say. For example, Marxian economists are criticizing, well, you just look to the market, you don't necessarily understand the power between the agents within the market, and also that power relation is also more visible and more strict in the production space. For example, workers, after they sell their labor power, they come to the production space where the hierarchies are there. I mean, you have a boss, he decides or she decides what you do. You don't decide what you do, or even how you work. Your working schedule is even sometimes decided by your boss. So in that sense, I mean, the actual decision makers, of course, by taking the needs and wants and the resources into account, are not that much visible in the market economy definition according to this view. While according to mainstream economists, basically, market is the kind of institution, in a way, an unofficial, invisible decision maker. So there is no individual, there is no power belonging to one group, that disproportionate power that makes decision, or in some cases that power might exist, but when you look to the overall economy, the market, those interactions will decide how economy will work. So this uncoordination and well, kind of almost equal distribution of power, or kind of even if this disproportionalities exist, no one with specific amount of power. The fact that no one has a specific amount of power in the economic system is significantly more power, is actually defining feature of this economic system according to neoclassical economics or mainstream economists. While according to Marxian economists, even though no one is powerful enough to govern whole economic system, the power relations are still important in deciding how economic system is run. And that's why Marxian economics define the existing system as capitalism. Here, capital is the main thing. I mean, capitalism is the economic system where the people who own capital, the excessive amount of wealth which they can use to control the production process, control the resources, buy them and control them, and decide what to transform, what will you produce out of them, how will production happen. That's the defining feature. I mean, the fact that capital is a dominant element of the dominant and controlling element of the economic system is the most important feature of the current economic system according to the Marxian economists.